Cal flew away in a huff. He was really angry. I think he's still probably pretty angry.
He said he was going to come back, though.
He said he was going to come back. So maybe he could be like the defense attorney for all the bad Halloweentown people. Because you got to get paid, man.
Alrighty, guys, welcome to New Jersey HorrorCon's Q&A stage. You all know why you're here. I'm not going to waste everyone's time with a really long intro, so make some noise for these legends of the Halloweentown franchise.
What's up, guys?
Hey.
Hi.
Thanks for coming. Happy
thanks for
early
being here.
Halloween.
There you go. Never too soon. Never too soon.
Project to the audience.
Alrighty, guys.
Wow, what a crowd. What a crowd.
Wow. How you guys doing? Having fun today?
Thank you.
My first time in Jersey.
He's never been here before.
You guys are great. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Alrighty, guys, I'm going to warm up the room with a question or two, but this is your Q&A panel, so nothing's going to make them feel more loved than seeing a bunch of hands go up when it comes to audience questions. But to get things started off, this is a high watermark of DCOM films, which is Disney Channel original movies, for those of you who aren't down. But I love.
They're all down. Clearly. They're all down.
Read the room. My bad. But so what are the Disney Channel or Disney movies in general that you guys love going on?
Straight down the line. I'm going to put him on the spot first. I think.
All of the animated ones in the big boxes and everything from when I was a kid, but Robin Hood's probably my favorite. Yeah, Robin Hood. Because it was Sunday night, they always used to have an ABC movie on, like if the older generation remembers. And I'd always wait for Robin Hood to come on. It was always something else, but it was great. But when Robin Hood would come on, I was like, yes, awesome. I loved that one so much.
I was obsessed with Beauty and the Beast and Little Mermaid on the puffy VHS tapes when I was a kid. Thank you. As for DCOMs, I feel like I have to mention too, Color of Friendship was always one of my favorites. Thank you. I like that one.
I'm a trader. I did not grow up with Disney Channel. I grew up watching Fox Kids.
Well, Disney owns Fox now. So
Okay, so I'm not a trader anymore. X-Men all the time.
Oh, hello. Okay.
Yeah, that was mine.
Oh, boy, I think I'm going to date myself now. The legacy actor. Fantasia. Anybody ever see Fantasia?
Yes, classic.
That was one of my favorites. And didn't Disney do Bambi and stuff like that?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was a favorite of mine as a kid. And I just grew up with watching Walt Disney on TV. Who remembers that? When Disney would come on every Sunday or something like that and have this show, and it was unbelievable. And Walt Disney was there and he'd introduce it. That was pretty amazing. So anybody who's over 70,
So glad you could come out of the talisman, Robin, I let him out for this, just to be clear. The contract stipulations are that he has to carry the talisman the whole time, just in case he acts up and I gotta send him back in there.
Yeah.
Okay? So don't worry.
Back, Dad, I got your back.
Oh, dear Lord.
Son, just calm down.
Those Cromwells.
So to narrow the Disney discussion a little bit, what are your all first memories of getting involved with the Halloweentown franchise?
Ooh. I remember auditioning a few times, even though you and Emily spoke about, did we read together in an audition? You guys told a story at another panel, and I was like, did I really?
I don't
remember
actually.
But I remember auditioning a few of the early scenes, like Marnie finding out that she's a witch, and then it was all the scenes where I was either complaining to Gwen or complaining to him, well, I think we're witches, and so that was super fun. And I believe it was after the first audition that I found out that Debbie Reynolds was going to be playing Grandma in the movie, which just felt like a proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. I mean, hello. So, but I auditioned a few times, and yeah, there might have been like a third audition where the three of us read together, and that one's a little fuzzy for us, but I don't doubt it.
It was kind of the same experience for me, a couple rounds of auditioning, but one of the things that stood out was going in to sign in for the audition and seeing Judith Hoag's name on the list. And me already being a big Ninja Turtles fan, I just said, I absolutely have to have this job. And thankfully, it worked out.
It's good you figured that out, because this guy worked with her on was filming with her for, was it a few weeks until
I didn't
it hit
realize
you?
she was in Ninja Turtles until about halfway through filming. We were eating lunch one day, and all of a sudden I went, "You were April, you in Turtles?" She goes, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh my God." So I had no idea until then.
I remember showing up for the audition in a suit, a black suit. And, I don't know why I decided to wear a black suit, but I wore this black...
Because you were the mayor. Yeah.
I didn't know, and because anyway, that's why I was hired, just because I wore a black suit. So,
You're finding out the secrets, guys.
Yeah, I had 4 auditions for it. Each audition, there's a building that it doesn't have the Disney Channel logo on the top anymore, but in Burbank, it did. It was Disney's building. And each audition, you kind of go up to the next floor, the next floor, the next floor, and ended up going all the way to the top floor and auditioning. And it was down to me and some unknown guy, Jared Padalecki.
I think I've seen him since.
Whatever happened to that guy?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think he was doing well.
I hope so. He seemed real nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, ironically, the first audition, I gotta be honest, I didn't prepare that much because I had 2 other auditions the same day, and one of the other parts I wanted, so I really prepared and didn't even get a call back on that. Went into Halloweentown. I was like, blah, 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 shit. And the casting director was like, wait. No, I'm gonna give you a call back. Just study it a little bit more. But you kind of look like an asshole. Sorry. Oh my God.
Earmuffs for the youngins.
Sorry, my apologies. So that's how my stories went.
So I don't want to hog the mic. I do want to give the audience a chance to jump in. We have a packed house, okay? We're going to bring the mic to you.
You're going to get your steps in today, Chris.
Hi. I'm going to kind of start off a little controversial. So watching the movies growing up, I've always known, and being interested in witches, in my adulthood, I've noticed that Sophie is actually the supreme witch of the Cromwell family. Do you agree, disagree?
Oh, I think definitely Sophie. I mean, we would not have made it as far as we did, without Sophie. She was literally the key to the front gated Aggies. But yeah, she was like, Marnie was like determination and risk and like, let me just jump out in there as something falls out of my pocket. And then Sophie was more like, okay, no, let's actually say the spells as they're written and we'll figure this out, so yeah.
Thank you. Of course.
Great question. Audience questions? Nope, here's one up here.
On the floor.
Hello, I have a question for Daniel. Who do you think was your mother in the movie?
Yes!
Ooh, he's never been asked that question.
I've never thought of that before.
I have a theory that it's Judith.
Tell us, Robin.
Yeah. Where's Mom?
Good answer, Robin. Good answer. That's actually, yeah.
It's a good one.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Elvira, maybe?
I mean, theoretically, you'd think it would need to be somebody also with magical powers because he's such a strong warlock,
right.
But maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah.
You just hold your talisman over there,
He
right?
was pretty powerful. Maybe I didn't even have a mom. Maybe he was just like, Alaka-sun.
I mean, you created your dad out of frogs.
That's true.
So maybe he created you out of magic or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're a frog.
If I ever come back, maybe I'll just turn into a bunch of frogs. Yeah.
that's why I carry the talisman.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good question.
Never thought about that.
Yeah.
That's a good one. And more audience questions here.
Hello, if there was another movie, what would you like your characters to be doing?
I'd like to be in the next movie.
Fair point. Fair point. So would I.
Me too.
And just to be clear, Disney knows that we would all love to do another one, including me. And we get asked literally all the time. We would love to do another one. So if you guys would love to see another one, feel free to let Disney know.
At Disney Plus.
That you would watch it.
Disney Plus.
They can't ignore all of us, right?
I mean, right? But to answer your question more specifically, I think, I forgot Robin was going to be sitting here for this. I think Marnie could maybe be running for mayor of Halloweentown. I don't know, I'm putting it out there. I'm just saying, just bring a little bit more of the good magic,
Absolutely.
But I feel like she would be doing something in Halloweentown. She loved creating new things and bringing, all the different creatures and mortals and humans together. So there we go. Oh my gosh, we're writing it on the stage. But yes, those are my ideas.
I always pictured Dylan moving on to a teacher position, something like teaching human history at which university. Something very exciting to him, but probably super boring to everybody in Halloweentown. That's what I always pictured.
I feel like I would just stop by your classroom every day and just just zap something to mess something up, for Dylan, just be bzz, and then just mess something up for the day and then walk by that would be Marnie and Dylan.
Yeah.
Cal flew away in a huff. He's really angry. I think he's still probably pretty angry.
He said he was going to come back, though.
He said he was going to come back. So maybe he could be the defense attorney for all the bad Halloweentown people. Because you got to get paid, man.
Okay.
A Better Call Cal.
There we go.
There you go.
I'm so here for any of these to happen. Just take my money now, please.
Any suggestions from the audience as to how you would like to see our characters return?
Well, that's a great question for the audience. Yeah, who wants to take a swing at that?
Come on, step up to the plate.
I think Dylan would be a better mayor.
He would be a good mayor.
Yeah, but you just poking the bear left and right over there.
That's Jersey, baby.
This is like the House of Cards political drama I need. So there was a question over here, I believe.
Hi. What were your favorite or most fun scenes to film?
Oh boy, it's a great question with lots of fun scenes. I feel like I tell this story a lot, but it is one of my favorite scenes. During the filming in the first Halloweentown, Debbie and I filmed the broom flying scene on the very last day of shooting. And so it was just her and I on a big tall stool in front of a big blue screen all afternoon. And it was the first time we had gotten a lot of one-on-one time together. And it just was the most special day. A, because I got to pretend like I was flying on a broom with Debbie freaking Reynolds, first of all. And secondly, just to be able to spend that time with her and just giggle with her and all of those things was such a incredible blessing. And that was, that always will just be one of the most, very special days from filming all of the movies.
Anyone? I had a bunch of...
The mic, Robin, the mic.
I was waiting for it.
Yeah, it's bound to...
I had a bunch of fun scenes, a whole bunch of fun scenes, actually. The scene in the movie theater where I was, where there was all this smoke and I was freezing everybody. What happened was I had these yellow contacts on. They put these big yellow contacts on. And I'm, gesticulating and and they had this huge fan. I was standing on a grate. And there was this massive fan underneath to blow this incredible costume. Some of you saw a version of that today. and it was blowing all over the place, and all of a sudden, boom, the contact just pops right out of my eye, and it goes right down into the grate, down on the ground. And they wouldn't continue filming until they found the contact in the dust in the ground. And so they got the contact, and nobody had any lens stuff. I'm there going, See, this is how the show must go on, right? So I put this thing in my eye and finished the scene, and luckily didn't suffer anything from that. But so that was a pretty cool thing. And the other thing was when I was up on the city hall, shouting down to the crowd, and they didn't mic me. I wasn't mic'd. And I really wanted to be mic'd, but I guess the budget or something, they didn't mic me. So I had to really project down to everybody down there. And I was literally up high on this thing. And at the end of the day, I totally lost my voice. I totally lost. So they had to fly me back to LA and send me to this. Is this interesting? I don't know.
Yeah, I want to know.
I remember this. I remember.
Anyway, so they sent me to this doctor, and he injected my vocal cords with steroids and stuff like that, and then they flew me right back to LA. I mean, to St. Helens, and we finished the movie. Yeah.
Oh my God! So you got stuck with a needle, put a bad contact in your eye.
Well, no wonder he's so angry.
What was your SAG rep?
I think my favorite time will always be the first Halloweentown when we were riding in Benny's taxi for the first time. I remember we spent all day doing that. It was me and Kimberly and Emily in the back of the taxi, just hanging out, bonding, getting along. I feel that's where we really solidified that sibling bond that I hope shows through in the film. It was a very hot day. That was the only drawback. But getting driven around all day by a skeleton, who can forget that?
That's a good one.
All of the scenes I got to be in were awesome because Cal did crazy stuff. But one of them that I really liked was, I don't know if you guys remember when Cal opened the portal when you're not supposed to be able to, but Cal could do it. And he's standing there and he's screaming and then the portal opens and stuff. In the script, it says, Cal says spell to open portal. And I'm like, great, cool, that's cool. They're going to give me a spell. So we're getting ready to film, and I'm in my little trailer, my tiny little honey wagon trailer. And they knock on my door, and they're like, okay, Daniel, in about 5 minutes, we're going to be ready. You got your spell? And I'm like, yes, I do. And they shut the door, and I was like, oh, my God, I don't have a spell. I thought they were going to give me a spell. So thankfully, I did choir in high school. Wasn't one of the greatest singers, but I was in choir, and we sang a German song called Musica or something. So it was Wie gesprungen Jaderton ein Feist. It goes Wie gesprungen Jaderton ein Feist. So that's what I'm doing if you see me. Wie gesprungen Jaderton ein Feist. Okay, we're good? And it made it in the movie. So thank you, high school choir.
Going across here.
Hello.
Hello.
So first, I just want to say, Joey, I felt like your character was super underutilized in the movies. I thought, especially once you gained magic, in the second and third one, I was like, wow, this guy's going to do a lot. So I was wondering, what did you think, or what do you think your character could have done more in those movies? And then for all of you, what was your favorite Halloweentown movie?
What could I have done? Well, I sort of did have the same impression when I found out that I had magic powers at the end of the first one. I thought, well, this is going to be great. They're gonna utilize this, and they didn't much, and that's okay. I was excited because I love Halloween and magic and stuff, so having to not do any of that was a challenge. But I feel like in the realm of the speed reading, stuff like that, I feel like maybe Dylan could have been more useful memorizing spells and having more kind of oddball spells on hand. Okay. That would have been fun. As for my favorite movie, it's the first one. It was just such a new, the experience of like walking on set and seeing Halloweentown for the very first time. I mean, like the wonder you see in our eyes in the film was like very realistic. It was just so cool to see all these monsters and stuff walking around, and you know, like I said, spending all the time with Kimberly and Emily, it was a good time. That's my favorite.
Awesome.
I guess I probably have to say the same. I love them all for different reasons, and I think they are all have such different tones to them, which is so fun. But the first one, yeah, it's the OG. It really established everything, and yes, much of like our wonder and enjoyment, like walking around Halloweentown in St. Helens, like the production design was so amazing that it just, yeah, as a kid who also loved Halloween, I mean, it just, we were in heaven. Like, it was a great, we filmed in the summer in July, but that was a great summer.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to say the second one. I'm a little partial, but you know, it's a little bit darker, a little bit grittier. The director, Mary Lambert, is actually, she's a horror film director. She directed the first Pet Sematary. So she was like, wanted to make it darker, and she's like, come on, Disney, we can do this stuff. And Disney's like, this is a children's movie. And she's like, but we can really do it. So there were some a little bit darker moments and stuff that she managed to squeeze in there a little bit more. But yeah, the second one, first one's great. I mean, it started everything. But, you know, two.
I like the first one, but you know what was really cool for me was that I got to have this whole body cast. I mean, it was they cast my arms, my shoulders, my chest, my head. The whole thing was all, you know, fabricated by these great artists who created these incredible arms and hands, and I still have actually the actual head mask. It's like 25, I don't know, how 25 years old is it?
26 now, yeah, I think.
Still there, very fragile, but I still have it. And so that was really, really cool for me. And it was the first time that I had ever done anything like that. So that was a wonderful experience for me as an actor. I just loved that. Yeah, it was cool.
Hi. When did you realize what this movie meant to other people? Because I know a lot of other DComs have come out and we're like, oh yeah, remember that one movie happened? Whereas this clearly has made an impact on a lot of people. So what was the moment where you said, oh, this is what's going to stick?
That's a good question.
Certainly over the years when the movies aired, the Disney could see that there was an audience for them, and they did well on the channel. But the first Halloweentown, like, we were only supposed to make one movie, and people ask us a lot, like, was it supposed to be a movie series? And like, no, we had, like, Disney Channel was very new. It was only like the second or third ever DCOM made. Disney Channel wasn't even like on the East Coast yet, so it was so new. So that was like, that was part of, I mean, pardon the pun, but that was part of the magic of it, you know, and like getting to see it over the years. And certainly you guys have had such a huge part of that, because we would not have been able to make more Halloweentown movies if you guys hadn't embraced it and loved on it so much as you have. So it's been so special and such an honor to watch it really grow over the years. And then certainly with social media coming along and just creating some fantastic memes and all the fun things. But more recently, the time that it really hit me was the first time I went back to St. Helens, Oregon for the first time. It was probably about 8 or 9 years ago now, where they filmed the first Halloweentown. And they, every year, pay homage to the movie and have a Spirit of Halloweentown festival where they recreate Halloweentown in that town square. So the first year I went up, a ton of people showed up, like to the tune of like 15,000 people to do the pumpkin lighting that year. So that was really walking through the crowd with some nice uniformed officers and just seeing everybody in the town just completely, like, I will never forget that day. And that was really when it hit me such a deeper level, just the long-lasting impact and how touched I am that you guys still love on it so much.
I want to just add to everything that Kimberly just said, but I am amazed touched really, that all of you and the thousands and millions of folks that watch it, generations. It's like several generations. Yeah. It's just amazing to me. And I don't understand why or what the calculus was that made it so successful and continues to please lots of kids and families, and it's a family thing, and that's pretty amazing, really, when you think about it. That it's lasted for 26 years. That's a long time in our business to have something continue to air and have draw an audience and please them so much. So thank you so much for watching and for being fans. It's really, really wonderful.
Yeah, kind of like what Robin was saying. It's the first. I was about maybe about 15 years after we made the first one, and I had there were times where people would come up and recognize me over that time and say they were fans. But the first time that I realized that it was actually pretty huge was about 15 years after we made the movie. I was in a movie theater and a family came up to me. Who said, hey, we watched you in Halloweentown, and they had maybe about a little girl, maybe couldn't have been more than 4 or 5 years old with them. Halloweentown should have been way before her time, but they looked at her and they said, do you know who that is? And without hesitation, this little girl just pointed right at me and said, "It's Dylan." And I was just like, wow. And it's just so appreciated that it means so much to you and you continue to share it with the family. I think that's what it was intended for, and I'm really glad to see that still happening.
Yeah, I mean, thank you guys so much for just being a part of all of it. We have a lot of people come up to us at cons and stuff, and I didn't realize how big it was until I started doing cons with Kimberly, that they just say, "You were my childhood, but you made me feel like it was okay to be me." And that gets me because, like everybody when they're growing up, you feel weird or whatever. And it's hard to get through that. But knowing that so many people saw in Kimberly's character that, it's okay, being normal is vastly overrated. Like it made such an impact on so many lives that's when I really realized how powerful it was. But maybe the first time is when we first started dating. We were going out to dinner and we were going to go to Killer Shrimp, which is like the big bag of shrimp places. I'm like, I'm going to take you to the finest restaurant. So we're waiting there for our table, and there's another table over there that's packed with people, and they're singing.
The whole restaurant's packed, by the way.
The whole restaurant's packed. It's like Saturday night. In the restaurant, they're singing happy birthday to this guy. It was his birthday. They're like, "Happy birthday to you," and he's like, "Yeah, happy birthday." And right when they go, "Happy birthday to you," the guy goes, "Kimberly J. Brown, I love you!" And the whole restaurant goes, "Huh?"
Literally.
And we were like, "Hi," and I was like, "Damn, that was crazy."
A lot of confused faces. Who? Yeah.
So those two things.
Yes.
Hello. So I'm going to ask it. So return to Halloweentown. No disrespect to Sarah Paxton. She's a great actress and everything. But for Kimberly, what was it like then for someone else to be playing Marnie, and then just the overall movie and the direction and story they took with that one?
I love Sarah. Sarah and I grew up in the business together. I honestly have not seen the entirety of the movie. And that was a choice that they made to not put me in the fourth one, which is what I get asked a lot. So I figured I should throw that in there. But I was disappointed, certainly, and disappointed for the fans. But I have really did not expect the incredible outpouring of love and support that I would get over the years and continuously, just from fans and kind of I didn't know if people would notice a difference or notice, and so I was touched that people did. So thank you. Thank you. You guys are so sweet.
Yeah, she is. She's my Marnie, too.
This is for all of you. For the movies you guys were in, were you allowed to take anything from the set?
We're not allowed to take it anyway.
That wasn't the question.
Anything from the set, yeah.
Allegedly. Go ahead. Did you do?
I didn't take anything.
I had in Halloweentown High, the wardrobe company made up some really cool clothes for the fake high school that we were all going to. There was like a vest and like an athletic jacket and stuff. And I remember I did ask, and they said yes. And I took a few things home. They don't fit me anymore because I was a small child. But I have them somewhere, and that was really fun.
And that was actually the same high school where they filmed High School Musical.
That's right.
Halloweentown High, yeah, in Utah. I love you're nodding your head. She's nodding her head. Yes, you know. I have a few things. The producers were nice enough to give me a copy of the Halloweentown book after the end of the first film. You got one too, right? Yeah. So I had everybody sign it. It's kind of like a little yearbook. I have Marnie's outfit from the second movie, the purple cloak and the hat. Debbie was very kind and kind of encouraging the producer, like, you made that. Like, they made it to fit me. There was only one. She was like, you made that for her. Just let her take it home. And she actually gave me the idea of, she used to put on her Aggie cloak, because I believe she had kept that in between the films. And she would trick or treat, give out candy on Halloween as Aggie. So she told me that once. So I think it was after the second Halloweentown. I did that a couple years in a row. I dressed up. I put on my Marnie outfit and gave out candy until some people started coming to our house looking for Marnie at other times of the year. So it got a little out of hand. But that was a blast. And I have Marnie's little broom that she kept in her pocket in the second one. I have like the stand-in one for that. And then Disney also gave me his assistant, the bat that comes out of the. I have that puppet still. Yeah.
Wow. I wanted that little guy. I got my mask. I got my big thing.
Oh, good.
And my hands. I got those too.
I tried to get that leather jacket. Like, I was like, man, the leather jacket's so cool. It makes me cool. I'm such a nerd, but this leather jacket makes me look so cool. So I asked the producer, I'm like, can I have the jacket? And he's like, no. So I'm like, okay, fine. I'm going to go to another producer. And I was like, hey, other producer, Dad said I could have it. Hey, you, can I have the jacket? And he was like, no. So I was like, God dang it. So I went to, and I tried to, everybody that was in power, can I have the jacket? And they all said no. And I was like, fine. I'll just take Marnie then. I don't need no jacket.
She's better.
Much. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
Doesn't have to be Disney, but are there any other movies that kind of stayed with you from your childhood, like Halloweentown was all of ours?
Well, my favorite, we just watched it again recently. My favorite, like, nostalgic childhood fall program was Your Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. Like, that was always my, like, waited for that to come on, gonna age myself, TGIF on Friday nights. But that was like the start of fall to me. So anytime I watch, Snoopy and a lot of those holiday Charlie Brown cartoons, like, that just puts me right back there.
So my folks loved movies, and I have two memories. My mom took me to see Sound of Music, and my dad took me to see Ben-Hur. And so those two are childhood memories of mine. Yeah.
One of my favorite parts of doing Halloweentown was working with Benny. And the reason for that being is because I grew up watching Army of Darkness. And so when I found out that I was going to be interacting with a skeleton and fighting with a skeleton, I mean, it was really hard for me to like keep a straight face and act cool because it was just so much fun the whole time. I did my best Bruce Campbell screaming. That was constantly on my mind during Halloweentown.
I'd have to say this gentleman has a Back to the Future shirt on right there, right? Yeah, Back to the Future, my favorite movie, best movie of all time, Back to the Future. But maybe it's because I always considered myself as like Marty McFly, Michael J. Fox, because I was always like a tiny little scrappy guy. You know, they could just try to get away from Biff. I could say a couple things and then run the other way because I was always faster than everybody. But it, like, just the movie, and to know that like a little guy like that can actually make a difference. I was like, that's right. Little guys can do stuff too. Still love that movie.
So I think we have time for one or two more. Was there someone I lost?
She's back there. She's raised her hand a few times. Yeah.
Thank you for spotting that. I knew I lost one.
Hi, everyone. My
Hello.
question is for Kimberly. So for the scene where Marnie is in the salon, did you actually use fire that was coming out?
Yes. And that's the fun part, because I think if we filmed that scene now, it would not be real.
That's a good point.
It would have been CGI. There were a lot of aspects to the movie that were done in real life. But that was a really fun day. We did that shot isolated by itself. But that, yes, they turned on whatever was connected to that hair dryer, and those flames came out. I think they turned. Actually, no, I don't think we turned it on till we rolled. Do you remember? I don't think I rehearsed with it because they were just wanting to just get it and be very safe, obviously, and had everybody around. So. Yeah, I think that Marnie's reaction, because we only did it, I think, once. Marnie's reaction is also some of Kimberly's reaction. Because I'm like, yeah, I got this. And then it was stronger and hotter and everything more than, some fire, it'll be fine. No, but but I felt so earmuffs badass for like being able to like hold it and keep it together. But yeah, those were a lot of flames. I had to wait. I remember I had to wait for them to turn it off, and then I could drop. They were like, wait for the flames to go away before you put the hair dryer on the ground. Okay, make sure the flames are gone. Yeah, that was one of my favorites. That and like Aggie's bag in a lot of the scenes was not CGI. It was actually like set up in a very creative way so we could really continually just pull things out of it. So yeah, I'm glad you noticed that.
Hi. So my question is for each of you, what was your favorite part for like different scenes to film with all the movies?
I'm trying to think of the Halloweentown High was particularly fun for Debbie and I because I was a little bit older and we got to play a little bit more of the physical comedy, just the hilarity of Aggie trying to, teach badminton and just all these, the random classes that she kept getting assigned to. So I just have good memories of really trying to find little beats with her where we could throw in some extra giggles or just like we got to have a lot more fun with Marnie and Aggie's relationship by the third one. And so that, like, I can't remember a specific scene, but that time definitely sticks out to me. Like we had a lot of fun with that, like me trying to, pull the alligator out of the classroom and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I would have to say sort of the same thing because by the third one, they were really giving us a lot of leeway to try stuff with our characters, and you could just sort of say like, Dylan would do this and end up doing it. There was I think there was did the basketball scene make it in? I can't remember. Does the basketball scene in Halloweentown High?
Oh, wait, no.
We had a scene where Debbie was coaching basketball.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, Dylan obviously needs one of those breathe right strips. So they got me one of those in the scene where we were building the haunted house. I said, well, Dylan would obviously be wearing a back brace here, and I got one of those, and it was just really fun to try some ad-libbing and improvisation and stuff and see what ended up making it in, and some of it actually made it in, so that was really rewarding.
My favorite scene was, remember in the ice cream shop? Remember where with Debbie and Kimberly and who else was? I think
and Emily. I think it was.
Emily,
yeah.
Yes, Emily. And do you remember that scene? It was in an ice cream shop, and what was cool was I got to be with the kids, and they were just really great to work with, and they were really sweet, and
thank you.
And also with Debbie, working with she was a legend, and she was just so funny. You have no idea how funny she was. She was sassy and Yeah, and funny and sweet and generous and she was just great. It was so much fun to work with her in that scene and generous as an actor. And one thing I remember specifically about her that I'll never forget is that she had an assistant a personal assistant with her on set who was kind of invisible. You never really sort of noticed her. But during breaks between scenes or setups, sometimes we'd be filming outdoors, and sometimes there would be spectators and people watching, at a distance. Debbie would walk over, and she would have her assistant had these little cards that were about that big, like little postcard things with her picture, and she would sign pictures and just give them out to people just that were standing there. It's like, wow, that's really something else. That's really cool. At that point in her career, that she had the generosity to do that to her fans. She loved her fans.
And she would, my favorite way she would introduce herself is she would walk up and go, "Hello, I'm Princess Leia's mom." Do you remember too, in an early draft of the script, this randomly just popped into my head, when Kalabar pulls the lollipop out of his ear, he originally was supposed to give it to Sophie, and Sophie was like, "Thanks," and then started eating it. And we were like, Emily was like, "But we're not and so and then it got rewritten, and then they tried to pop it, and we were like, "No, I think if this strange guy were to pull a lollipop out of his ear, she probably wouldn't be too inclined to see what it tasted like." So yeah, I remembered that randomly.
One of my favorite scenes I got to do is probably where my face comes out of that block that used to be the pumpkin. Just the process that it took to get there. I had to go to the special effects guys, and they put plaster all over my face because they needed to make a mold of my face, and they stuck straws up your nose, and you guys sit there in the dark with plaster all over for an hour. So I'm just like, okay, don't freak out. Everything's cool, don't freak out. And they peel it off, it's your face. And then they put a mold into that, and they made this piece of brick with my face in it. It was this big, and then they glued it onto my face. So it took an hour and a half to glue on the face. So then if I'm walking around, it's it's this whole thing. So I got to do all of the scene like that, and then afterwards, some of the cast and the crew signed on it like graffiti, like it was a wall. So that was pretty cool. It was fun.
That's awesome. Well, unfortunately, we are about out of time, guys, but be sure to stop by their tables, get some pictures, get some autographs. I know they have a lot of stories left to tell you. And make some noise for these legends for sharing their time.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Guys. Thanks for being here, guys. Pleasure.
Hey, guys, this is your old pal John Swayze. You are watching Fandom Spotlite. Keep up the good work and always follow your fandom.